Hey there! If you are trying to conceive and wondering what you should be eating in order to support fertility, you are in the right place. My name is McKenna, and I am a nutritional therapy practitioner, fertility awareness educator, and doula. And I am here to share with you the top 10 foods that I recommend to my clients that they eat in order to support fertility. When we talk about trying to conceive, most people will jump straight to taking a prenatal vitamin among other supplements, or just tracking ovulation, or maybe even just going for it and trying to conceive straight away. But here's the truth. Your body and your developing baby need fuel in order to thrive. Your body needs fuel in order for its reproductive systems to thrive. If you want healthy egg quality, healthy cervical mucus, a thriving metabolism, a built up uterine lining that will sustain life, healthy progesterone levels, all of these things are built by the food that you consume. So, yes, it is so important to eat the right things when preparing for pregnancy. What are we waiting for though? Let's actually dive into my top 10 foods that I recommend in order to support fertility. Number one would be pasture-raised eggs, or honestly, just eggs in general. These are a super simple, practical, accessible food that has so many incredible things that will support your fertility. And I'm not just talking about the egg whites, I'm talking about the whole egg. Do not skip those egg yolks because that is where a lot of the magic is. Eggs contain choline, B vitamins, folate is one of those really important B vitamins that it contains. Just so many things that are really important for that reproductive health, hormone health, progesterone, building those stores for those early stages of pregnancy, especially when things like nausea might hinder your typical eating schedule. Eggs also contain a decent amount of protein. Now, I wouldn't just eat 2 eggs in the morning. You want to have a lot more protein than that. But they do contain some protein, and they're also a wonderful source of those healthy fats that are going to support your pregnancy prep journey. Number two would be organ meats. Now, I know this is a tough one to sell because honestly, in our society, we don't really prioritize things like heart or oxtail or liver. But these are some of the most powerful, most nutrient dense foods that you can eat, and they have so many important things for supporting fertility. Now, I promise you, I am not on that train that says eating beef liver is enough for a prenatal vitamin. But I am saying that eating things like beef liver can really help build up those nutrient stores and can be a really important part of your fertility diet. Just a few ounces of beef liver a week is going to give you that preformed vitamin A that is so essential for early fetal development and actually preventing birth defects. But it also is going to contain all those B vitamins, copper, zinc, iron. Pretty much everything you're looking for is going to be in there. Those organ meats are so important for your pregnancy, and starting to eat them in fertility can be a big helper as you move forward in your trying to conceive journey. Also note really quickly, I know I mentioned heart. I know that that is not technically an organ meat, but I just lump it in there because it is one that is not super commonly eaten, but it can have a lot of amazing benefits to your fertility as well. Number three would be bone broth, which quite honestly is the true liquid gold. Bone broth is going to be rich in glycine, which is an amino acid that becomes essential in pregnancy, but it is also really important for building up that uterine lining and for the creation of glutathione, your body's master antioxidant. It also gives you so many bioavailable minerals, especially in the form of electrolytes, and it is super beneficial to your gut and gut lining, and it will really help aid in digestion, because if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that digestion is so important for fertility. If you are more curious to learn about why digestion is important to fertility, I have linked that video right here. Number 4 would be raw milk. Now, I say this with the caveat that it is very important to know where you are sourcing your raw milk from. You want to get it from a clean farm where they take care of their cows, where their cows are healthy, pasture raised, and the conditions are very sanitary and clean. And this will help to ensure that you are getting your raw milk from a safe source. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk a bit about raw milk, because boy, oh boy, is that a superfood. Raw milk is a complete food. It contains healthy fats, carbs, and protein in one drink. It also contains vitamin K2, which is really hard to get from too many sources of food, but it is really important for fertility and pregnancy. Raw milk is also going to contain vitamin A and vitamin E and just all of the fat soluble vitamins that are so important for that early fetal development. It's also a wonderful source of bioavailable calcium, which we hear about calcium a lot for pregnancy, and building those stores up prior can be very beneficial. Number 5 would be oysters, which is a super underrated fertility superfood. Now, just 5 to 6 oysters is going to give you an abundance, more than you need, of zinc, which is so important for all the different aspects of fertility, especially when it comes to men's fertility. Oysters can be very, very beneficial to that sperm health. Oysters are also going to contain selenium, iodine, copper, all of these other minerals that are so important and really drive the reproductive process. It's best to have them fresh 1 to 2 times per week, but you can also, if needed, get them from a can, or you can even take oyster supplements. Number 6 is going to be nose to tail muscle meats. Now, very commonly we will have things such as chicken breast and ground beef. And by themselves, those things aren't bad, but the thing is, they're not going to provide a complete source of all the amino acids and different elements we need and we get from the animal. We want to eat meats that contain skin or are attached to connective tissue, bone, things that can break down and that can provide a balance in our body. Because if we're just eating chicken breast every single day, that's probably going to lead to more inflammation in the body. But if we're having a wide range and ensuring that we're eating the whole animal, that is not going to cause the inflammation, and it's also going to give us a plethora of nutrients to work with. So think of those slow cooked meats, cooking meat off of the bone, chicken wings, things with skin on them. So like if you're cooking a chicken, cook an entire chicken. Don't just cook the chicken breast. Make sure to get that crispy, yummy skin with it. If you're cooking a soup, maybe slow cook it, put it in a crock pot and have oxtail with it or something like that, something where we can really get those connective tissues broken down, because this can be of so much benefit to our fertility. Number 7 would be root vegetables. Now I'm talking carrots, parsnips, potatoes. Those types of veggies are very mineral rich and are very good for our hormone health. Things such as carrots can actually bind to excess estrogen in our gut and really help with estrogen detox. That's why you hear a lot about raw carrot salad, because this really helps detoxify those excess hormones. On top of this, they're going to be a wonderful carb source because they're going to provide slow burning carbs. And also, this will be of wonderful nourishment to your thyroid, which again goes back to that hormone health. Number 8 would be fermented foods. Now, your fertility and gut are intimately connected. And when we are eating fermented foods like sauerkraut, cottage cheese, yogurt, kombucha, these things are going to nourish that gut microbiome, which in turn is going to nourish your fertility. They also are going to aid in that nutrient metabolism, so our ability to break down, absorb, digest those nutrients like zinc or calcium that are so important to fertility. And they help to synthesize things such as vitamin K, because that is synthesized in our gut. And when our gut microbiome is healthy, thanks to probiotics and things such as sauerkraut, this can really aid in that process. Number 9 would be butter, ghee, and coconut oil. Healthy fats are so essential for fertility. Grass-fed butter and ghee are going to provide vitamin K2, some vitamin D, vitamin A, which is absolutely critical for hormone health and fetal development. Ghee also has a really high smoke point and is easier to digest for some people who might be more sensitive to certain dairy proteins, so this is a great one to cook with. Number 10 would be berries, because we've got to add some sort of fruit and sweetness in there. Berries are really rich in antioxidants, which protect your cells from oxidative stress, and they protect your eggs from oxidative stress and cellular aging. They are also very rich in fiber and a good carb source, so they will be really good for that gut health and that overall hormone health. And they just taste delicious. Now that we've gone over my top 10 fertility foods, here are just a few different things to look out for. Number 1, especially in regards to fertility, would be low-fat diets. Your body absolutely needs fat to make hormones, and this is a time when we really want our hormone levels to be producing adequately. Number 2 would be skipping meals or under eating, because under eating is going to tell your body that it is not safe to conceive. We really want to be eating enough in order to support our metabolism and our fertility. Number 3 would be over relying on supplements, because we want to focus on that real food first, and then supplements to do just what they are, supplement. Number 5 would be fearing carbs and completely staying away from them. Now, different levels of carbs will work for different people, but in regards to fertility, carbohydrates, healthy carbs, so like those root veggies or fruit, in balance with the rest of your diet, are going to really fuel your thyroid and hormone health. Let me know in the comments which foods you already love and which ones you're interested in trying now that you've learned a bit more about them. I would love to hear from you and get started in that conversation and supporting you. If you are looking for personalized support with fertility nutrition, I offer one-on-one coaching that deep dives into all of that, provides meal plans, tailors a specific plan to your health, through HTMA testing and really gets you on the right road to pregnancy. You can check that all out on my website at holisticconception.org/services. We've talked a lot about hormones today, so I should probably mention that next week's episode is all about how to balance hormones holistically in order to support fertility. You are not going to want to miss it, so I would go ahead and hit subscribe so you can get it right away.